We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Baseball star Duran is suspended for 2 games after using a homophobic slur during a live broadcast.
Abuja Area Mama, a transgender TikTok influencer, was recently found dead in Abuja, Nigeria. Her death highlights Nigeria's rising LGBTQ plus persecution and violence.
BD Wong endorses Kamala Harris in a hilarious CSI-like Instagram video. And there's a special appearance, too.
Disney Broadway theatrical group has announced a stage adaptation of The Greatest Showman because this is me. The announcement is never enough.
Tessa Testicle of Drag Race Germany shares full-frontal images on OnlyFans right before the Global All-Stars premiere on August 16th.
Good evening and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily evening television news. We're broadcasting live and available on demand on all your favorite streaming channels. We're proud to announce that YouTube has recognized Queer News Tonight, certified by analytics company vidIQ, that we have had more than 9 million views. It's Wednesday, August 14th, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ plus evening news show. Whatever happens unique in queer news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the queer community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbians, transgender, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and our television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the queer and broader community.
Let's meet tonight's anchors at Queer News Tonight. First up, let's welcome my very dear friend, Bonnie Builder.
And twin.
Yeah, of course. She's the premier South Florida bodybuilding drag queen and the forever reigning Mixed Mary's Wilton Manors. A recent graduate of FIU, Bonnie Builder is a trainer that comes to life with a microphone and a spotlight. Welcome, Bonnie.
Yo. So, a couple of updates with me. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, as I'm sure the viewers have noticed. I was on a beautiful vacation with my husband and friends. We went to the beautiful place, I don't know what it is, of Barcelona. It was incredible. We did the Virgin Voyage cruise. It was absolutely amazing. And some major news. Next week, I finally start my master's program for occupational therapy at Bayer University.
Oh, great.
So
Congratulations.
For that. And in other news, every Wednesday you can find me at The Gay The Ring hosting drag trivia. That includes tonight, from 8 till whenever we fucking finish. So, find me there.
Excellent. That's great news. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Next, let's welcome TriniDaddy. This artistic talent is a violinist and pianist with the Miami City Ballet and is the program director for the Seminole Theater Players in Homestead. Welcome, TriniDaddy.
Welcome, everybody at home. I have also been on hiatus for about 6 weeks or so, and I know you all have missed me, especially Bonnie, so I'm so happy to be back.
Who is this man?
Next, we're going to welcome my friend Nico Cales. He is a passionate learner and leader. He loves connecting with people, exploring new places, and creating meaningful memories. Nico is currently pursuing an MBA in marketing. Welcome to the show, Nico.
Hey, I'm glad to be back.
You haven't been on hiatus or anything?
No, I've been here. But also, I am going on the Virgin Voyage cruise
Yo.
that Bonnie went on, so I'm excited. Out of Barcelona.
They need to start paying for airtime as many times we said their name.
So yeah, I leave in 2 weeks.
Excellent.
And I'm very excited.
Enjoy. Next, and certainly last but not least, let's welcome Larry Farver. Larry has over 20 plus years experience in human resources, acting, film, radio, TV, live events, parade float design, production, and casting. He's an advocate for LGBTQ plus rights. He is proud to be living the dream here in Wilton Manors, serving on a city advisory board and ongoing civic project initiatives as a dedicated volunteer. Larry, the free movie screening of Cocktails and Cinema, Oscar's Dress, is on August 15th at Little Haiti Cultural Center in Miami. Tell me, what's happening?
Yeah, I'd like to share anything I can to promote independent movies. Ever since I came out when I was 21, I've been going to independent film festivals, starting in New York City when I lived in New Jersey. And now that I'm getting involved in independent film down here in Florida, more than I was up there, this piece stood out to me. So they will be showing this tomorrow at 7:30. I think, for some of us, and whatever our experiences in the community, I was maybe that little boy once who put on my mom's dress. I went down and found her old ballet slippers and found her little 1960s something and put it on. At that time, it was just like I had no boundaries in terms of my creativity. And here I am today. So I'd like to promote this. The movie's in German subtitles. It's about a father who finds himself sort of thrust in being a full-time dad. His separated or ex-wife is in the hospital, so he's not only looking after his son Oscar, but his daughter as well. And he discovers along the way that his son Oscar has a dress, and he deals with it. And I think, I think it's something that'll be a great movie. It is free, and they do have a great bar, and I highly recommend it. They do a lot of wonderful programming.
Two of my favorite words there, free and bar.
Penis.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And, I'm doing a project for one of my independent projects with one of the people I'm supporting right now. But I'm going to try to zip down on the Bright Line tomorrow and catch it. So I'll report back if I get an opportunity.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And of course, this is tonight's lead anchor, Dr. Tai Houser. He is a professor of the English language and humanities at Broward College and teaches in the College of Business at Florida Atlantic University. He has served as a visiting professor at colleges in Bolivia, Brazil, China, India, and Spain, and provides an international viewpoint. Welcome, Mr. Tai.
Hey, thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Dr. Tai, sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. I'll forgive you the once. I'm prepared for a rousing show tonight because this group, we are the reporters for Queer News Tonight. And this evening, we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. Here are the bullet points of the queer news for Wednesday, August 14th, 2024. First up this evening, we're going to queer up the USA View. Boston Red Sox player Duran suspended for homophobic slur. Boston Red Sox outfielder Jared Duran has been suspended for 2 games by Major League Baseball after using a homophobic slur during a live broadcast on Sunday. The incident occurred in the 6th inning of the Red Sox game against the Houston Astros, which they lost 10-2. Duran was heard on camera responding to a heckler with a slur. He said, quote, "Shut up, you fucking faggot," end quote. Ironically, Duran had been earlier honored that day with MLB's 2024 Heart and Hustles Award, recognizing him for embodying the values and spirit and traditions of the game. His comments have sparked widespread criticism, leading to apologies from both Duran and the Red Sox. Duran's statement read, quote, "During tonight's game, I used a truly horrific word when responding to a fan. I feel awful knowing how many people I offended and disappointed. I apologize to the entire Red Sox organization, but more importantly, to the entire LGBTQ community," end quote. The Red Sox also emphasized their commitment to inclusivity, saying, quote, "We echo Jaren's apology to our fans, especially to the LGBTQ community. We strive to be an organization that welcomes all fans to Fenway Park." This isn't a new story. This happens all the time. Words matter. Are we still offended by this?
Ugh. Not I'm more so not bothered by this. It's obviously something he uses in his private life because it came out too naturally. But also, thank you for the apology, whatever. Just throw a large lump sum of money at your nearest queer organization and we'll call it a day. Y'all gotta start apologizing with y'all money and not y'all words. The words don't really matter all that much because you can apologize on Tuesday and be an asshole on Wednesday.
Well, you're exactly right there. The words don't matter that much because if they did, you wouldn't be using the word to begin with.
Hello.
I think that he got an award for embodying the values and spirit and tradition of the game, so I think it kind of fit.
It was capital.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that it probably came out. I don't know if that's enough for me to say that he's a homophobic person, because I know a lot of people who would stand up for gay people that would just use that word in anger just to insult somebody because they know that's going to bother them and get under their skin. That apology definitely seems like it was written by, somebody from the organization, the PR person. Definitely is in his benefit to retract because nobody's going to want to endorse him for anything if that's what, he's saying. It does bother me a little bit. I don't like when people use that word. I don't use it myself. I know there are gay men who use that word. I will never call myself that word. I won't call anybody else that word. But if somebody else decides to do it, it's, between gay men, whatever, that's fine. Y'all could do it. Yeah, I just don't like hearing that word. So yeah, it does bother me, and I'm glad he apologized, as he should do.
Yeah.
I also think that like it demystifies the whole meaning of like how words can like hold such a huge impact. And although you're just talking amongst your friends and your colleagues, but there's like different communities that are very offended by this, and it's caught on camera. So I think, had to do that apology just to kind of like throw it under the rug a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to get it back. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would like to, to your point, Bonnie, I would like to see him even go further, or someone in that situation, to maybe actually do some community service hours voluntarily.
Headline the Pride Parade.
Absolutely. Well, maybe not that far. I don't know if we want him. That's Bonnie's.
Right, I gotta take him. I get.
That's right.
She's not gonna be in the Pride Parade.
Yeah, but seriously, beyond money, showing that, people make slips in society. We see it across the board, even in our own community. So I think putting your time out there and, maybe getting some press on it, as long as it's sincere and not just for show. Yeah.
Let's queer up trans rights. Nigerian trans TikTok star Abuja Area Mama found dead. The battered body of Abuja Area Mama, a popular 33-year-old transgender TikTok influencer, was discovered along a highway in Abuja, Nigeria. Known for her candid posts about life as a transgender woman and sex worker in Nigeria, Mama was reportedly on her way to visit her boyfriend when she was murdered. Josephine Ade, a police spokesperson, confirmed the discovery of Mama's body and stated that Abuja Chief of Police Bennett Igwe has ordered a, quote, thorough and discreet investigation. In her last TikTok post, Mama wrote, quote, getting ready to go and see my boyfriend. It was just hours before her body was found. LGBTQ rights in Nigeria have been increasingly under attack, with many states adopting forms of Sharia law that criminalize same-sex relations and gender expression that does not conform to traditional norms. These laws make same-sex relations punishable by death in some regions, while federal laws carry prison sentences of up to 14 years. Human Rights Watch has also documented the actions of vigilante groups known as Hizbah, who enforce Sharia law outside the legal system, often targeting the LGBTQ community with violence and abuse. The UN has said LGBTQ and especially trans people's safety in Nigeria has become a crisis. Tragic story. Another transgender female murdered. There was one here in Miami, first world, not too long ago, right in front of the place that I work. Before I continue with it, I just wanted to state in all the stories that I read, including in her Instagram, she goes by cross-dresser, a cross-dressing male. And so I think for many people that they've also labeled that as transgender, but just using her words and using her pronouns. She says cross-dressing man and she as a pronoun. I think whenever I read a story about this, I'm so troubled that so many of our trans, cross-dressing brothers and sisters feel that they have to resort to prostitution in order to survive. And that's really where this murder rate comes from. It's through the unsafe practices of just being out on the street corner and getting picked up by random people, especially being in a country that is largely under Sharia law or under Sharia law enforcers that decide to impose their own feelings of what the law should be, even if it's not 100% stated. I think that she's totally brave for being able to be this TikTok star and to go out publicly knowing that her country is the way that it is, and to just kind of proudly proclaim her her sexuality and orientation. But I am troubled about it. Just brings up to me the point about prostitution and transgendered people, and what does our community do to help solve that problem? And I hope that maybe on some panels and some other maybe city panels, whatever it is that we can talk about, think tanks, about how we can figure out a way to get transgendered people, and anybody, of course, but specifically transgendered people, transgendered women of color, like how we can keep them safe and off the streets and out of prostitution and help find a better way.
There's a lot you said in there that is worth unpacking, and I want to be clear in saying that I don't think that there is a problem with sex work, although I do see your point about if it is kind of like a last resort, if it is something that you're not willing to do and you find yourself in a position where it's the only thing you think you can do, then perhaps that does resonate with me a little more. But as it stands, I don't think that sex work is a bad thing necessarily.
I don't think you can dispute, though, the danger.
That's where I'm agreeing.
That's what I'm talking about.
And the danger comes from the perpetrator of the crime, not the job of sex work. So if there is a safety issue, we need to go to the criminals and get them off the street and not tell people, don't involve yourself in this. Sex work is work, and it is a viable industry. There are many avenues to it. This person was attacked and killed because a hateful, gross, disgusting person killed them, not because they were a sex worker. I'm sure you were aware, because you said you've heard many stories like this. There have been trans-identifying people who've been murdered not while performing any sex act, not while doing any sort of sex work, just living their day-to-day life, and they get attacked and murdered. So the issue is the perpetrator of these crimes and not the victims performing a job, is how I feel.
So, and we know too that it is Nigeria. This has increasing in Nigeria. We hear these stories more frequently coming out of Nigeria and other places that are, like you said, Sharia law kind of being enforced. And it's important that we remember that these places still exist in the world. Even though we kind of sit back here and we think that we have it bad in some ways, and in some ways we do, in other ways there are people out there in the world that have it a lot worse off than we do. Sure.
I do want to clarify, though, that I have in no way am saying that it's not the perpetrator's fault that put on there.
Understood.
I'm just making sure that we all understand that it is a dangerous situation to be on the street at night, regardless of whether you are selling sex or you're just hanging out. Whenever you're in a bad part of town or you're in some area in where it's unsafe, it's just unsafe to be out there. And that is the cause of many of the deaths or being in that situation. And so finding the safety in that is where I'm trying to say we need to
I agree with the sentence that just came out of your mouth, but I would change the word cause with circumstance. That is the circumstance in which these people fell victim to a hate crime. It is not always necessarily the cause. So yes, growing up in South Florida, if you walk in the wrong neighborhood at the wrong time, there will be danger, fully. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is, especially when you're in areas where the government is actively telling its people, like, it's okay to attack people who are different, then yeah, there is a major issue with your environment. But however, once again, and you're not saying an antithesis to what I'm saying. I'm just making a point to camera. Right. It wasn't the sex work that killed this person. it was the killer that killed this person.
Of course.
And it's the killer that we need to acknowledge and address and penalize. And every person who feels like they want to enact harm on any trans person needs to be afraid to do so, because they need to understand, oh, there is a major consequence for this action.
Right, and also just noting the quote from the officer that it was going to be a discreet investigation, meaning that they're probably going to go soft on whoever they find. Either they're not going to release the identity, and if they do, they're probably going to say, you know, she probably had it coming or something like that. So that's also an issue that I hope that we actually get to the bottom of who did it and that gets publicized.
That's right.
And I do think it is a sobering reminder that we should still fight for our LGBTQ rights, not only just locally, nationally, but globally.
I agree.
And this is the most tragic thing there is her last post was, "I'm going to see my boyfriend." Sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's bring it back to life. Next, let's queer up politics. BD Wong and Doug Emhoff team up for hilarious Law and Order themed Kamala Harris for President video. Dun 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 dun.
All right, thank you.
I'm glad.
No, this is my moment. I'm gonna take it.
I'm glad you're going back to school.
Anywho. BD Wong, the acclaimed actor known for his role in Law & Order SVU and Mr. Robot, recently voiced his support for Kamala Harris in a social media video. Wong, 63, who first gained fame for his award-winning performance in the Broadway show Butterfly, slipped into character for the Instagram post. In the video, BD Wong channels his Law & Order narrator persona to mention a presidential candidate who has been convicted of 34 felonies. He then emphasizes that a dedicated former prosecutor, Kamala Harris, is standing against him as part of an elite team in Washington, D.C. Wong expresses his support, stating that this is Harris's moment, and he is fully behind her campaign. At that moment, Doug Emhoff, Harris's husband, humorously pokes his head into view, prompting Wong to break character and greet him with a, "Oh, hey, Doug." Emhoff has shared the video on his Twitter account, and Kamala Harris has reshared it. Emhoff has been actively fundraising for his wife's campaign, unlike some spouses of MAGA-aligned politicians.
In the American political system, a presidential candidate who has been convicted of 34 felonies is considered especially heinous. In Washington, D.C., a dedicated former prosecutor is challenging this convicted felon as part of an elite squad known as Kamala Harris for president. This is her moment, and I am on her team. Oh, hey, Doug.
I will say one thing, the Kamala team knows how to go viral on social media. They definitely are engaging with a certain demographic, I would say Gen Z, Gen X, the TikTok generation, especially participating in videos like this or having videos of this made about her. And I think that's what the other side is very fearful of. It was Bob the Drag Queen who made a statement on their podcast, whatever it's called. They're not paying for promotion. Bob said that Donald's team is very afraid of the fact that the TikTok generation is now old enough to vote.
Yep.
And now that their voices can be heard in voting booths, that we will start seeing their opinions actually being pumped through the system. And we obviously see where the tide is turning when it comes towards who the next president will be.
I love that her husband's just having a good time with it too. Like he just seems like a really cool guy. He's like out there supporting her. Yeah, I'm gonna pop my head in and play along with the game. I like that a lot.
Yeah, he's really cute.
I'm so torn on this because, like, I will be voting for Kamala Harris in the booth, but I can't stand her. I can't stand her, and I should love her. I should love her because she's me. She's half Indian and half Caribbean. Right? She's a beautiful woman. Like, I just want to see her. Yeah, I think
you got one attitude.
I think she's beautiful.
Yeah. No, she's beautiful.
Oh.
She's beautiful. Yeah, she's a gorgeous
Anyway.
person. Yeah.
I think, like, it's so artificial to me. It's such pandering. I don't think that she ever would have been the candidate had she gone through the primary system. But here we are. And I hope that she wins. I will be trying to rally support behind her and to talk to the people that say I can't stand her. I'll be like, you know what? I can't stand her either. But she would definitely be a better president than Donald Trump, and we need to stand behind her for that. So this kind of stuff, it's a little cringy for me. It has no substance, and it just seems like, oh, let's put a gay Asian guy on there, and let's put a, like,
he's gay.
BD Wong?
He gay?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's like pretty out, and he's
Yes.
in a ton of gay movies too.
When I tell you, I didn't know nothing about this man until today. I didn't even know he was on the show.
Thank God you're going back.
I would like to see your card, please. May I please see your gay card?
Go ahead. It's going to say under 18. Go ahead, baby Daddy Wong.
I hope your pandering campaign works and you get a lot more votes.
So I think your point is right. We had this conversation the other night when I was here too. There should be room to criticize our candidate,
Yes,
regardless.
absolutely.
But at the end, when it comes time to vote, we are a two-party system, and it's not that I want everyone to get in line, but make sure that you know who you're going to tick the box for when you get that ballot.
Looking at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's up next, Nico?
Next, let's queer up entertainment. Disney confirms The Greatest Showman live as Broadway looms. I've always had a million dreams, so I come alive when Disney Theatrical Group announced the development of a stage adaptation of the beloved 2017 musical film, The Greatest Showman. The exciting news was shared this week at D23, marking a significant step forward from now on for the film that captivated audiences worldwide to be seen on the musical stage. The original film, starring Hugh Jackman as P.T. Barnum, became as a cultural sensation, becoming the greatest show. It featured a star-studded cast including Zac Efron as Philip and Zendaya as a trapeze artist, Ann Wheeler. The LGBTQ community instantly embraced the movie as being represented as This Is Me, a collection of oddities with Keila Seattle singing the queer anthem. In a post on its official Instagram account, Disney shared, "This is the moment we've been waiting for, a stage adaptation of The Greatest Showman and currently in development by Disney Theatrical Group. While details regarding the creative team, casting, and production timeline remain under wraps, the stage adaptation is expected to retain the film's dynamic choreography, visually stunning set pieces, and its iconic soundtrack by Benji Pasek and Justin Paul. Stay tuned for further updates as this exciting project unfolds, because it's never enough."
Oh, Nico, well done.
Well, I'm actually excited to see how they're going to make the film be translated into like a Broadway play. So we'll see how it all kind of comes together.
I know they're not going to incorporate the real story of Barnum, where he killed a bunch of animals, like just droves and droves of animals. That's probably not going to be in the Broadway play. But I like some of the songs. I played that what's that Star song with Zendaya? With don't act like y'all haven't seen the movie, y'all. We just talked about the story.
Yeah, well, I don't. Which one do you want?
The stars where
Never
they're like,
Enough?
no, that's
This Is Me.
A Million Dreams?
No.
Okay, those are the famous ones.
Oh, there's a song with Zendaya and
Is she in the film?
Zac Efron. The man just said it.
Oh.
I'm letting it go. There's a great song with them that I listen to in the gym. I'm a huge fan of it. A lot of the songs are very catchy, and if you go to a drag show, there is a number from that movie that every drag queen does at her second or third number when she starts taking off her makeup and her corset and her wig, and she's ready to hit the door as soon as the song's over. This musical means a lot to the drag community because there's a lot of songs that we use for our performances. So we're very excited. We're very, very excited for this.
So much like Disney, though, I kind of don't like the Disneyfication of theater and of musicals. I want us to get to a place where we can again have like original Broadway productions that are, the catalyst comes from a creative team rather than from a movie that we saw or a revamp of an old show or, where's my Rodgers and Hammerstein of the 21st century?
Yeah, maybe it's a little too mass-produced or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, I'm sure I'll love it. I'll go see it.
I like the songs. I performed some of the songs, but I tried to watch it one day because somebody told me that I would just love this movie. I think I fell asleep 10 minutes into it, and then I woke up and I tried to like keep myself engaged, and I just didn't like it. Maybe I was tired, I don't know, but it wasn't speaking to me. It seems like it's the way that it was structured is already a musical. Like, it was on Broadway and then it was adapted to the film. So I guess it's a pretty easy transition to put it to Broadway. And a lot of y'all people like it. So I'm glad. But I'm kind of more with you. Like, I'm definitely not going to go see it.
Yeah.
But
I'll definitely see it, but I am hesitant.
Well, and Hugh Jackman is a showstopper. I've seen him on Broadway in New York, and many of us have seen him on film.
I've seen him getting out of the beach with his trainer a couple of times.
Where? In Miami?
No, on film, on pictures, honey.
Not pictures, just
Not
dating
the
your
stalker.
Well, let's next queer up drag culture. Tessa Testicle goes on full-frontal mode before the upcoming Global All-Stars. Well, Tessa Testicle, sounds like a tongue twister. Tessa Testicle, a standout queen from Drag Race Germany, has announced that she's now sharing full frontal images on her OnlyFans page. The announcement came just days before the latest Drag Race spin-off premiere called Global All-Stars. Known for her fierce performances, Tessa also makes waves off the stage by joining the adult platform where she's gained a tremendous following. This is believed to be the first time a Drag Race star has been in full adult content at an OnlyFans before the show's debut. Previously, Tessa, whose out of drag alter ego is Lorenzo Cicero, had only shared tasteful nudes and occasional bum shots. However, this week she revealed on Twitter, quote, "Taken a little while to get over myself, but I finally posted poll, head on over to my OnlyFans to see for yourself," end quote. The post came along with a censored teaser image. Meanwhile, the highly anticipated Global All-Stars featuring queens from various international franchises will debut on WOW Presents Plus, MTV, and Paramount Plus on August 16th. Well, she's versatile. She wears many hats. Sometimes she doesn't wear anything. I did read a little anecdote in just researching the story before we came on the newscast night that she had a little emergency room visit the first time she tucked. So I don't know if you call it a fun fact, but it was an interesting fact. But apparently she has a full enchilada that when she's her alter ego, Lorenzo, it all's out on the plate.
So much like you, I researched this story before we got here, only I got stuck in a porn loop.
Oh my God.
I didn't research the story. I was just thinking about the concept. I'm just looking at the picture now that they put. Okay, it's kind of hot. So for me, it kind of makes a difference on what they look like. Like if somebody was just showing an enchilada just because they, wanted to, boost their ratings on the show, then I think it's kind of desperate. I'm like, okay, well, you look like that. Is that him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow, what a transformation.
Okay. So, I wonder what he looks like in drag. But
they showed the picture. You missed all that. They posted like 7 photos.
That's him?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Very versatile.
Okay.
Wow.
So I'm here for it. I just changed my mind.
Okay.
But I don't think that, I feel like all of them have OnlyFans and everybody has OnlyFans now. Even my friends have OnlyFans.
Well, I think it'll be interesting. And I think it'll be interesting too to see, where someone has an OnlyFans page and whether that precludes them or, some of the shows change their parameters of what's allowed and not allowed in the future. I think probably a show like RuPaul and then the international version of it is going to be a little bit more open.
Especially since RuPaul in the 80s was out there interviewing sex workers for MTV.
Absolutely.
So you better be cool with it.
Absolutely. But it'll be interesting to see where it takes off next.
Yeah. And as one attractive person who does drag to another, Tessa, kudos to you. I'm a big proponent of using what you got to get what you want. And baby, if you got it, then baby, you get it. Okay?
Do you have an OnlyFans?
I do not have an OnlyFans.
Okay.
I am naked all the time, so it's not hard to miss. If you go to my Instagram, bodybuilder.com, you will see a lot of skin at certain points because I also use what I got, and I got a lot.
Do you
of
tuck?
When I feel like it, and yes, I understand going to the emergency room with the tucking incident. Imagine pulling it back and then a tearing, burning sensation and then sitting on it for Lord knows how long. It is, and then when you undo it, it looks great. It's a lot. Tessa, I feel you, even when you feeling yourself.
Well,
Can I just ask one question? It's like kind of an aside from that.
Go for
it. But like with the tucking, like, because I know you host, and I go and I support you hosting.
Right.
You know I do.
Yeah.
That, do you just not drink when you're there just so, like, because if you have to pee and you have to, like,
That is half
untuck,
the reason. That is
then,
half
like,
the reason.
then do you not drink?
I don't drink alcohol when I'm in drag working because A, I'm a big dude. So if I get drunk and fall over, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Secondly, if I'm like tied up in a costume and just liquids flowing through my body, it's gonna take me 2.5 days to undrag, piss, and then come back to the gig. And I'm not trying to lose no money, especially when I'm on the clock. So I don't drink and drag for that very reason.
Don't drink and drag.
You know what? Next time I'm on this table, whoever I'm sitting with next, y'all all need to tuck. The next, and it's on camera, the next broadcast that I'm doing, which is probably next Wednesday, whoever I'm sitting with, y'all all need to tuck.
Well, you should probably do it first.
oh my.
Well, I'm not free next Wednesday, so Trini, what do we got next?
What do we have next? Next, you are invited to our incredible 13-day balloon Fiesta and National Parks tour. Bask in the sights and sounds of Sin City. Explore the rugged wilderness of Zion National Park. See the breathtaking stone spires of the Monument Valley Navajo Tribal Park. Then embrace the sky at one of the most amazing events in the world, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta. It creates an enchanted world of special-shaped balloon rodeos, twilight balloon glows, and vibrant balloon-filled skies. After that, see one of the greatest wonders of the natural world, the Grand Canyon. This trip will show you some of the greatest sights in the American West. Get your Instagram ready for this trip and book now at happeningout.travel.
As a nonprofit LGBTQ+ media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We also thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ+ community's most popular pizza in South Florida.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza. Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
And next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
That is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I've been your anchor tonight, Tai Houser, and on behalf of these wonderful LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Bonnie Builder, TriniDaddy, Nico Cales, and Larry Farver. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you all a very good night.